Now let's bring you an update on the death of a female medical officer who died as a result of elevator malfunction at the General Hospital Odon in Lagos. Sarah Ayeko is live at the Candlelight Procession, which is happening right now in our honor on Lagos Island. Sarah, we understand the memorial service held earlier. What's the mood there, and what more are you learning about this development?
Of course, the mood is, as you can imagine, Nifemi. Of course, you can see the doctors in honor of Dr. Vwaere marching, and it's a solemn march. And you can see them. A lot of them have been describing how wonderful, how compassionate, how brilliant she has been to them. And even this is what they can do for them if they can make this march. You know, they still keep memories alive, despite the fact that she passed on Tuesday. A preventive death, you can say, based on the circumstances that we've highlighted in previous reports. And so you can see that the doctors are sad by this unfortunate incident. They are, of course, demanding justice, hoping that the Lagos State government, particularly the hospital management, would, of course, they're demanding an investigation. They're also hoping that the Lagos State government would do something decisive, because this is something they have complained about over time. I'm talking about the faulty elevator now that caused this incident, that caused this accident. And they've been talking about this. They've been talking about it, complaining to the hospital management about this. And for them, they are saddened that this happened to someone they really love, someone that had just 2 weeks left for a housemanship training. And so from what we've heard from a lot of our colleagues, you know, this is a sad incident for them. This is something they will not forget in a hurry. And they are demanding justice. In their words, they are demanding justice, and they are hoping that the Lagos State government would take a decisive step and, of course, hold someone accountable, not just come up with laws or policies or fix the elevator, but then hold someone accountable for this incident, if I may.
Sad story, Sarah. We had the NMA Lagos chairman on the news last night, who also talked about what the governors intend to do and exactly what they are asking for. But what are the doctors saying about the person of Dr. Diaso? What's she being remembered for?
You know, while a lot of them were trying to describe who she was to them in the room earlier during the memorial service, they talked about how wonderful she was. They talked about how compassionate and how brilliant she was. Before this incident happened, I hear that she was on a 24-hour call. She had just finished working. She was hoping to catch some sleep, you know, on Tuesday before she got the call that her food was ready downstairs. And so for this to happen, some of them recall calls that they had, well, phone conversations that they had with her on Tuesday before she went down the stairs, before she went through the elevator down the stairs. And while they were sharing their experiences or sharing what they know about Dr. Vwaere, they were in tears, of course. Nifemi, this is someone they know. This is someone they love. This is someone they've talked about. Even for some people, for some doctors who just joined the housemanship training for 5-6 months, they can as well describe how painful this experience is for them, because they say whenever she gets into a room, she lights it up. From the pictures that you've seen, you see how interesting Dr. Vwaere is. While I was in the room, I couldn't stay there for 1 more minute, Nifemi, because if I stayed there and remember how they described her as someone who was compassionate and brilliant at her work, you would be close to tears, Nifemi. And so for them, this is a loss that they wish didn't happen. This is a loss they are hoping could have been prevented, because taking a look at the circumstances that led to her death eventually, they had talked about how they were trying to get out of the elevator for about an hour. And then when they eventually did that, they got to the emergency, and they still couldn't find the help needed to make her stay alive. And so for them, this is a loss. They're demanding justice. They're hoping that some persons will be held accountable for this loss.
Truly sad story, Sarah. very preventable, a perfect example of Nigeria not happened to you. Sarah Yuku, covering the Candlelight Procession in honor of Dr. Diaso. Thank you for sharing the story with us. Sarah Yuku also has a package now as to what the Nigeria Medical Association is doing, setting up an independent investigative body to investigate the death of the female medical officer.